Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Virgo placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Virgo, bit of interesting energy that I'm picking up on. It's coming through as like distracting communication. I don't know in what way. It's kind of just like there's a card in the Muse Tarot deck. It's the Five of Swords, but I don't read it in that way, the typical Five of Swords meaning. But what it looks like is like there are two faces sort of like looking down at like things going on over here, while there's like the goal, or like they look like olives to me, like an olive branch sort of in between. Which is interesting because now it's coming through slightly differently. Because it kind of feels like there's something here where it's like maybe communication between two people. There's an olive branch, which may be coming through as like a symbol of like reconciliation, but it's almost like there's distracting communication is how it's coming through. Like maybe it's something here where like two people are trying to reconcile, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be reconcile. It could just be like, because normally I see that branch as being like a shared goal, or like a common purpose, or like this is the thing that we're working on together, right? That kind of thing. So it's like, but there's distractions sort of pulling the attention away from the shared purpose or the common goal. That's how it's coming through, Virgo, which is interesting. So there's maybe something like that just to be conscious of. There may be sort of like distracting influences or communication around a particular relationship maybe, or particular project or something like that you're working on, or within a group maybe, where there's like distracting energies. It's distracting from the common goal, or the purpose is how it's coming through. So just being mindful of that. We are about to enter into a Mercury retrograde on the 15th. So we're already in the shadow period, or the pre-shadow, or whatever it's called, period of the Mercury retrograde. So that may be part of it, especially because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and it's in Aries, but I was just getting a strong Sagittarius energy there as well. So just being conscious of that. Sagittarius is your square. So I feel like fire is coming through as an element that you may be working with, Virgo. I feel like maybe there's also this part of what you may be working with in this Mercury retrograde is like keeping something on task for you. That might be part of the challenge, like, because it kind of feels like there's a bit of distracting energies coming through, and just being conscious of how you engage with those distractions. Okay. It could be also like conflicting messages as well, like because I'm kind of getting like a group dynamic, but you're getting like different messages from different people about a certain direction that you're moving in, or a certain path or something like that. So just being conscious of that. That may be sort of something that comes up during this retrograde period. Okay. Virgo, could I get a Starcodes Astro Oracle, please? Capricorn. Interesting. Achieve. And then you have the retrograde card at the bottom of the deck. Okay, Capricorn. So maybe the next Capricorn reading, because Capricorn is next on the list after Virgo. Maybe that reading will have a message in here for you. Dive deep into the sea of collective consciousness to find a worthy dream and then work on it and walk it to the mountaintops. Yeah. A collective dream, which is interesting. The situation needs a good and healthy structure, foundations upon which you can solidly build. Capricorn imbues ambition and drive, determination, willpower, and precision. When used with integrity, these qualities culminate in the gift of leadership. Yeah. Interesting. Mountain goats climb easily up and down, but aren't as comfortable on flat terrain. Capricorn energy can leave you depressed when you feel flat and see no progress. If you can't fish, mend the nets. Look for what can be done now and make it a project. Make short-term plans that take you to medium-term goals and help you climb your mountain over time. Celebrate each step. The challenge is keep an eye on the power dynamics. Without integrity, Capricorn ambition can enable gross manipulation. Control a tendency to become controlling or manipulative when feeling anxious. Do not fall in love with others' competence. Let it inspire your own. The gift. Wisdom grown over time and through mature experience is the gift of Capricorn, as is connection to the spiritual traditions and disciplines that offer a solid foundation for our evolution. Okay. Virgo, so it feels like you're working on building a solid foundation in something, which is interesting because I do feel like there's something here where it's like the flat terrain aspect of it may be a bit challenging for you at the moment. Like there's something here where it's like maybe there isn't a lot of progress in something at the moment, like not a lot of forward progress or achievement in that way, or like moving up, that kind of thing. But it's like because there's something of the flat terrain, whatever that represents to you, the foundation, the supporting structure that is needing a bit more work, right? Like to fix the fishing nets in whatever way that is. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde period might illuminate some quote-unquote fishing nets that are in need of repairs. That's how it's coming through. So maybe there's something like that happening. So for the next like month or so, there may be sort of like things that are coming up, like it does feel kind of like small problems, like things that are easily fixed with the retrograde, where you're needing to make small adjustments or things like that in order to solidify your foundation. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Saturn, excuse me, Saturn is also in Pisces at the moment, which is your opposite, which is really interesting. But the thing is, Virgo, I think that there's, sorry, I just got like a weird tickle in my throat. What was I going to say? Distractions. Collective consciousness. That's what I was going to say. Collective consciousness. It's really interesting because it's a mergoat. It's a goat. It's like the sea goat. Capricorn does have like watery elements to it, even though they're an earth sign. Be conscious of the collective consciousness that you are a part of as well. It does feel kind of like there's a group dynamic here, Virgo. Oh, the Maiden. I love this card. Again, building a solid foundation for something is how it's coming through, whatever this Maiden is. I also think, okay, there was a Capricorn reading I did a few months ago now. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll find it and I'll link it above, that had this Maiden card. So you may want to watch that one. The Maiden talks about like a very auspicious new beginning. So I do feel like you are working on a new beginning, or there's some sort of like, it is feeling kind of like this goal or vision, or like some sort of new inspiration maybe, or something like that, that like you're being asked to like you're moving towards, but at the same time it's like you're having to deal with all of these distracting problems, is how it's feeling. Doesn't feel like big problems, Virgo. It just feels like you just gotta deal with it, is how it's coming through. Whatever it is. Yeah, new beginnings and growth. You couldn't ask for a more auspicious card than this if you were beginning something new. Spontaneity, joy, growth, exhilaration, and promise for the future are signified here. We must note also that in the early stages of any process, there is vulnerability and a need for protection, shelter, and guidance. But there is also a magical impetus towards burgeoning growth. Trust the process, but take care of the details as well. The maiden is also the inner child who needs to be under the supervision of a competent inner adult in order for her to feel secure and loved. She is not happy when we spoil her. Consider what is growing in your life. Make a list of your hopes, dreams, and plans. Look for the growth within you and think about how you can cherish and nurture that. Bless the growth you see around you. Okay. It is wanting to bring more joy into your life, Virgo. It's a really positive energy here for you, but at the same time, I feel like what you're being asked to focus on is like building the foundation for whatever this new beginning is. And the building part might feel a bit frustrating for a little bit, because there's like, it's like, I feel like you're not starting with a fresh blank canvas. That's how it's feeling. Like, it's not like it's empty. It's almost like, just as a metaphor, say you're building a house, right? It's not like a clear acre of land or whatever. It's not like an empty field is basically what it's coming through. It's not a canvas that's blank. It almost feels like this new beginning, in order for it to take shape, you first have to like clear out whatever is there already. Like, it's like, I'm kind of seeing like debris or something that's like, you have to clear it out. Like, it's not a blank slate. So it's almost like that's how it's coming through with the retrograde energy. It's almost like this new beginning is in the form of like, I'm getting something like hoarding. Like I'm seeing like an image of like a house where a hoarder has lived. If you've seen those like shows and things like that, like where they've just collected a lot of things, and so the structure, the foundation of that house also becomes compromised just from the weight of the things. I don't know. That feels very specific to just one person, so just take it if it resonates, but it's kind of coming through like that. Part of this retrograde energy is like clearing out that house, metaphorically, before the new beginning can happen. So it is kind of feeling like before the achievement or the moving up or that kind of thing, it's like you have to work with what's on the flat terrain, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. Okay. You have the numbers 10 and 14 coming in, and 15. Oh, that gnome. Okay, interesting. 26. Oh, that gnome. I really love this card. Even though it can come through with a little bit of like a trickster energy. Trickster, creative chaos, breaking habits and patterns. Okay. If the gnome breaks a vase, the pieces will fall into patterns of great significance and meaning, but it is up to us to read and understand it. He is the potentially constructive force of chaos. That gnome is also the keeper of our wild talents, the ones we may not even know we have. When he appears, it is often to call our attention to our latent gifts. In a nutshell, which is where he claims to belong, his job is to help us get lost from our comfortable ruts so that we will explore wonderful, exciting, and strange new paths. He is the good friend of the raven, the philosopher trickster, and Coyote is one of his many disguises. He is so smart that he sometimes outsmarts himself. Can you laugh at yourself sometimes and let the laughter carry you into new insights and new ways of being? Okay. Reasonable risks are okay. This card tells us that the forces of chaos are at work. Things may not be as they seem, and this may very well be a good thing. Look for the unexpected, find the opportunity in it, and go for it. He says that no matter how confused things may seem, there's a way to make them better, but it is a creative way, one you haven't tried before. Okay. There is kind of like something where it's like a scattering of chaos. That's how it's coming through, Virgo. Like in that description, the gnome breaks a vase and the pieces of the broken vase form like a picture, but it's up to you to read what that's saying, right? That's how it's coming through. So it's almost like that. Part of the challenge for you, Virgo, is almost like there's something coming through where it feels kind of like a problem. I'm putting that in quotations because that may be how your ego sees it, right? Like how like first glance, this is a problem, this is an issue, that kind of thing, or like some sort of energy of creative chaos. But it's in order to enliven some sort of gift that you have, maybe, like, because this card talks about like awakening wild gifts that you may not have known that you had until this energy came through. That's how it's coming through. So that it's like, it was very interesting. Because I do feel like there is some sort of new beginning on the horizon for you, or you're in it already. But first, you got to build like the cradle for it to live in, to grow in, or you have to create the foundation for it. And the foundation feels like it's like it's like being the pieces of it, at least. It's almost like you have to go collect it, right? Like, because now I'm seeing like furniture, like pieces of furniture, but they're scattered all around the house, whatever this house is. So you got to sort of like pick up little pieces of furniture in whatever way. It's very interesting, Virgo. And like pick up all the pieces of furniture and then assemble it. This is all metaphor, right? So it's kind of like, well, maybe for some of you this may even manifest like physically, but it's also coming through with like there are no instructions. There are no instructions for how this furniture needs to be assembled, right? It could also be something where it's like there are no rules. There's some sort of creative chaos. Like it's kind of like splattering paint on a canvas. It does feel kind of like it's awakening some sort of creative energy for you, Virgo. Like there are no instructions. There are no rules. Maybe that's something that's a bit stressful for you, especially with this Capricorn energy. You just need to find what works for you, is how it's coming through. But I do think that you will be creating your own structure in whatever this is. If it is a creative project, it's like you're creating structure out of something that's unstructured, is how it's feeling, or chaotic. Because it's so interesting that these two energies are coming out together. It's like this is the energy that is what you're given. Like it's kind of like this chaos trickster energy. I don't want to use the word trickster because that comes in too much with like too much baggage, and I don't want to bring that into the, like, I don't want you to feel like this is like a test or anything like that. It doesn't feel like that. It's kind of just like, let's say if you want to use the word like your guides, universe, spirit is giving you like a mess, is just how it's coming through. A mess of something, but within that mess there are gems, or there's like material to work with, or there's like something that your guides, the universe, spirit, wants you to create, but you have to find the pieces. That's how it's going through. And create a structure for it is how it's feeling with the Capricorn energy. Yeah, Singer of Connection. I love this card. And you have Ilby the Retriever at the bottom of the deck, which I love as well, because this card talks about like lost hopes and dreams being returned to you. It's like you can do something with this now. That's what this energy comes through with. Okay. The Singer of Connection. Spiritual connection, karma, balance, and empathy. It tells us that we need to be aware of the connections between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between the people linked by it. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support. The presence of the Singer of Connection in a reading indicates support and strength flowing through the connections between those involved. Yeah. It's only by letting go of all your defenses that you become invulnerable. Okay. And the number 6 is coming through very strongly as well. Because it could be like a 6 of Cups. I'm also getting 6 of Swords. I feel like here, maybe Virgo, there's been some sort of like protective energy around you is also how it's coming through. Like, or, no. No, I don't want to phrase it like that. It's not that. It's, because with Capricorn also comes patterns, right? So there may have been some sort of like pattern that you were operating in or something like that. That this situation, whatever it is getting you to change a certain pattern that you might have that perhaps is like, not that it's not serving you, but maybe it's feeling kind of like it was in some way blocking the Singer of Connection. Because I feel like there's something here where it's like, especially in group dynamics, I am getting something of like something is breaking apart in whatever way. But it's in order to create greater connection between you and something else or someone else or something. Like that's how it's feeling. Like it feels kind of like it's breaking down a defense. I don't know if it's yours or if it's someone else, or there's like some sort of dynamic where like there's been defenses up, which was preventing connection. That's how it's coming through. So there may be a feeling of vulnerability that comes through with that, especially with the Oh That Gnome. Like, but it is also something where I feel like there's There's a gift in here for you, Virgo. It feels very unexpected. It's like the hidden treasures in the mud. That's how it's feeling, but mud doesn't feel like the right word. I'm getting this really interesting energy of like something very delicate. Like something very delicate, like porcelain, or like dried flowers, right? It's like holding it with such delicacy. But I feel like there's something about that. I don't know. Maybe that's, I'm going to pull more cards before I continue with that thought. Maybe that's not, that's like somehow not serving you in some way. The New Pearl. Another card about a new beginning. I feel like there's something here of almost like wanting to protect something that's really delicate, but at the same time, like, because that's how it's coming through with this Maiden card. The Maiden doesn't like to be spoiled, right? Like, the Maiden does require protection. Like, the new beginning does require protection, but also requires a bit of challenge in order to grow. There's something like that coming through. So it's like whatever the challenge is that's coming in with the Oh That Gnome is in order to get you to grow, right? Like it's like the exact challenges that you need in order for there to be growth and evolution. But maybe there's something about this situation that feels very delicate, or that you need to be very gentle with it. And I do believe that that's still beneficial, but just be conscious that it's not going overboard into the spoiling, like spoiling something, or giving it too much sort of like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Giving it too much sweetness, or like that kind of thing, because the New Pearl comes through with grit and irritation. That's how it's feeling. That's what this is, Virgo. A new beginning that's joyful and happy and hopeful, but there's grit. There's something that's challenging about it. Yeah. The New Pearl emerges as an alchemical miracle, a sight unimaginable at the outset. That said, the process is generated from irritation itself. Such is the medicine of the New Pearl. The work is underway, but the gem has not yet formed. Don't become petty and hasty seeking a return on your efforts. Rather, turn to patience, consistency, and humility to remedy the discomfort. Let the magic of time and salt water do its work. Relax, believe, and support a fellow alchemist in finding the grit that will become their pearl. Don't worry about you right now. The entire ocean is your ally. Okay. The pearl is made from only 1 grain of sand, 1 irritant. Take a moment to thank this irritant for being so consistently challenging. Allow the pearl to begin its formation. Okay. Does feel kind of like there's a challenge for you, Virgo, that's going to become a pearl. So thank the irritant is how it's going through. Okay. I'm going to pull a couple more cards. I am feeling like there's something here. Okay, red and white rose. I love this card as well. There's something here where it's like, I feel like it may actually be breaking down some sort of defense that you have, Virgo. Just being conscious of that, just because like, but in order to like bring out some sort of aspect of the maiden within you is how it's coming through. Okay, 1 second. Lix. The vital force arising and awakening. Something is coming to life before the alchemist's eyes. The pristine white of the rose is not threatened by the blood red pigment. Their mixing does not make pink. Rather, each color remains vibrantly itself, expressing its message. Like the blah blah blah. Okay. This appears to signify the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual, not yet integrated into the everyday. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day, observing it, listening to it, mining it for information and guidance. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the like of dancers, athletes, and during the birth process. The physical as a gateway to the spiritual. I do feel that whatever challenge this is, Virgo, is something that's manifesting in your physical environment. It's like a physical like manifestation maybe that's coming through in order to strengthen you spiritually is how it's feeling. Okay, you have sulfur at the bottom of the deck, which is a card that represents the soul, I believe, but it also talks about healing medicine that sometimes is unpleasant, is what the sulfur card comes through with. It's beautiful, but at the same time, it's gross. That's how it's coming through. Gross in terms of like it's unpleasant. It's not. It doesn't feel good. But at the same time, it's healing. That's what the sulfur card represents. I'm going to pull one card from the Energy Archaeology deck. Yeah, interesting. Belonging, sacrum. And you have two cards that have the, because I feel like this red snake energy is coming through as something of a challenge. So I don't want there to be any fear. I feel like fear might be part of the challenge. There may be something that is causing fear, but it's like this energy, whatever it is, will not bleed into your pristine energy. That's how it's coming through. It doesn't mix. There may be something like that that's also coming through with that. Like whatever this challenge is doesn't feel like it's a mix to you. It actually feels like grit, irritation, right? That's how it's feeling. Your sacrum is a place of confluence, but at the same time, it is a gatekeeper of your sovereignty. Consider the left. See and feel the energy of your mother line, the flowing of generations before you who have borne and birthed so that you may be here at this exact place and time within this lineage. Feel the container of the wombs that have held you, the breasts that have nourished you, and the hands that have helped you. This matriarchal caretaking has woven you into a tapestry of wisdom. Consider the right. Feel the rhythm of generation after generation of your paternal lineage, the structure and cadence of this patriarchal thread that has brought you to this point, this place of belonging to the earth, this dimension, this time, this body. Now look down and recognize that first and foremost, you belong to yourself. fully supported by the blessings of your whole and healed ancestors, held in the embrace of your community. This place of coming together accepts only your belongings, so you can accept and embrace it too. Yeah. What would it look and feel like to belong holistically in relationship with people, resources, and nature? Okay. There's some sort of challenge, Virgo, for you in this retrograde period, it feels like, where it's like, it kind of feels like a chaos energy, perhaps a trickster energy, something that feels like grit or difficulty in order for you to grow spiritually is how it's feeling, or in order for you to strengthen some sort of foundation within yourself, perhaps within yourself, but also within a particular manifestation, because I feel like there's something here where it's like your sovereignty is protected. That's how it's coming through. There is a lot of protection here for you, but at the same time, I feel like there's something here where it's like whatever this challenge is wanting you to let go of some of your defenses, it feels like, in order for there to be true connection and belonging. So being patient with that process, because I feel like there's something here where that might be uncomfortable, like the vulnerability might feel uncomfortable. There may be some aspect of your identity that's changing or that is shifting in some way. So just being conscious of that, you're building a strong foundation. Okay, Virgo, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.